The Denver Broncos are doing some soul searching in wake of their 41-10 loss to the Baltimore Ravens. It was a game where defensively you had easily the worst performance of the entire season. The Broncos defense has been amongst the top in the league in almost every statistical metric. They have played some really good football to start off the year, but today they completely laid an egg, and it all started from the game plan on down. Vance Joseph called a poor game today. They depended way too much on soft spot drop zone coverage, and it forced them to basically end up giving soft zones, little voids in the zone, to Lamar Jackson and this Ravens passing offense, and Lamar ended up picking the Broncos apart. It was terrible. Lamar had a really good day through the air, and it felt like the Broncos didn't respect Lamar Jackson as a passer. Very frustrating day overall on the defensive side of the ball, but offensively, they weren't free of blame as well. They lost the turnover battle early with Lil'Jordan Humphrey having his drop for an interception, and they also had some bad execution on fourth down on back-to-back drives. The first one, you had a bad play call where Sean Payton calls a toss play that ends up getting stuffed short of the line to gain. And then the next one, Bo Nix overthrows Troy Franklin on an open slot fade for a touchdown against all-out pressure. That was very frustrating to see. So you just never stood a chance getting off to that sloppy of a start. And you also saw certain players, it felt like, not give 100% effort out there. And because of that, I think the Broncos need to send a message, currently sitting at 5-4, being still in the thick of the playoff hunt, heading into a big time game this upcoming week against Kansas City. They need to send a message to this team that nobody's job is safe and that you need to be playing your best football at all times. There's two players that I'm thinking about that probably need to head to the bench for the Broncos. The first one being Lil'Jordan Humphrey. I understand that he's Denver's best blocking wide receiver, but you cannot be contributing to turnovers like the way he's been doing. He's had two opening drive turnovers that have been directly on him. The first one, of course, was that fumble against Carolina, and now we've got this one where it's a ball that, sure, it could have maybe been a slightly better throw from Bo, but it was through the hands of Lil'Jordan. It should have been caught. There's no excuse. You've also seen these drops from Lil'Jordan Humphrey. It's just been bad these past few weeks, and I think that the Broncos need to potentially think about benching him. I really do, because Lil'Jordan Humphrey, I understand the value that he brings, but the Broncos need to see what they have in other options in their receiving corps, such as A.T. Perry. I think A.T. Perry is a guy who really needs to see some playing time here for the Denver Broncos, and I think Devon as well. He should see even more snaps and probably take over for that Lil'Jordan Humphrey role. The next player that I'm thinking about that the Denver Broncos really need to send a message to the team and get out of the lineup is Devon Key. Key was terrible in this game. He missed multiple tackles. That play where Zay Flowers got loose for the touchdown towards the end of the first half, that was all on Key. Key needs to wrap Flowers up and tackle him down in that situation. Instead, it looked like he was playing two-hand touch, and Zay Flowers just able to get loose, and it was an easy touchdown for the Ravens. It was a lack of effort from Devon Key on that play, and there were other plays as well where it looked like he just wasn't giving 100% effort. If PJ Locke can't go this next week, then I think the Broncos need to prepare JL Skinner to make the start. Otherwise, I'm hoping PJ Locke will be able to go with like a cast on or something like that as he deals with what I believe to be a fractured thumb. The Broncos haven't come out and directly said it, but he's got a cast on. It looks like a fractured thumb situation. So hopefully PJ Locke can be back and the Broncos can get Devon Key out of the lineup by default. Otherwise, I think they just need to go ahead and bench him at this point and see what they have in JL Skinner on defense. Skinner's played so well on special teams that I think he has earned that opportunity. This Broncos team, they played a horrible game, and it all started with the poor defensive game plan. I understand the logic of not wanting to allow Lamar Jackson to break free and beat you with his legs, but The Broncos should have died by the sword that they've lived by for the last several weeks, which is single high man coverage and blitzing, as opposed to dying by the squishy soft zone coverage sword. I was not a fan of the way that the Broncos approached their game plan. And as far as the fourth downs are concerned, I can understand the frustration from some fans because it felt like the Broncos lost momentum offensively. But I can also understand the perspective of Sean Payton wanting to keep his feet on the gas, especially when the Ravens are playing so well on offense. You're not really able to stop them. I can understand trying to maximize your point potential and going for sevens instead of threes. It just kind of backfired for the Broncos, unfortunately. Tough loss, but the Broncos are going to bounce back, hopefully next week against the Kansas City Chiefs. This Broncos team, again, is still in pole position to make the playoffs, but I still think that it was a performance today that you've just got to look at the film, see what you did wrong, flush it, and then move on. All right, Broncos Country, and be sure to leave a like on this video as well as subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. I would really appreciate it, guys. Those are both free and easy ways to show your support. Helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and it helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos Country just like you and me. And until next time, guys, I'm your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.